How's it going, guys? Panther Films here, and today we're going to be reacting to Season 1, Episode 3 of WandaVision. This episode is titled Now in Colour. Let's just briefly talk about the first two episodes. Weird stuff, sitcom, black and white, bee catcher from S.W.O.R.D, potentially. I just read up there was a sword symbol on him, which I didn't even see, I didn't notice. And it's interesting they're doing S.W.O.R.D, because I thought Nick Fury was doing the S.W.O.R.D thing with the Skrulls in space, but I guess not. I don't know. But Paul Bettany is fucking nailing. He nailed the last episode with like the drunk Vision. He was kind of drunk because I mean he had gum stuck in his body, I guess. But I don't know how that would work with Vision because he's not entirely a robot, is he? He's something else entirely. I guess he is a robot, but it is what it is. Wanda's pregnant, and now there's colour in the world, and then that's like the cliffhanger that we got left off with. They also did a magic act, which was funny because people were like, "Well, how are they doing that? Wait a minute, what? How can they be doing that?" And then the assistant or Wanda shows how they did it, and it's like, "Oh, no, that's believable." I like the intros. I don't agree with how long the credits are. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, I think because she's pregnant, I think she has twins, right, in the comics. So we'll see. And we've also got, is it Geraldine? Who is, I think, is the older version of the girl in Captain Marvel, I think. Because they've kind of confirmed that. But yeah, I'm enjoying the show. You know, it's fun, but we'll see what the overall end game is for the show. Will they bring Vision back? Is this, I mean, I assume it's set in her head, right? And whenever, because Episode 1, where like the guy started choking, it was like that was the world breaking down, and she didn't know what to do. And then she was like, "Okay, Vision, help!" You know, Vision wouldn't do anything until she told him to. So it's like she's in charge of the world, and if something goes wrong, she kind of undoes it. And I don't know. It's obviously in her head. It can't not be in her head, because in the radio last episode, it was like, "Wanda, what's happening to you?" Like she's in a dream state. So we'll see. We'll see.
You don't know what I'm doing here. I'm Wanda.
Yeah, why would Geraldine be there? She's like, "I don't even know why I'm here."
No.
Apparently when she said no too is kind of tied into House of M, which would make sense. They're doing something different with the House of M storyline. Is this the way we get mutants in the world? Although all the stuff they showed there was mainly from like Phase 3. Because technically this is the start of Phase 4 now. It was meant to start with Black Widow, but I guess Black Widow was the first Phase 4 film. And I also love how each intro is very different. This theme's very 70s. I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 70s, so I don't know. Plus, I was never really into sitcoms either. So I assume every 2 episodes it's going to be a different time period.
Or blue.
You were at about 4 months.
Wait, what?
Is that right?
Well, I have nerves of steel, so there goes your theory, Mr. Dodds.
Vision, why don't you
That was so well done. I wonder if she'll give birth faster, like...
It's holiday. Hey, up. Hey, buddy.
Was that a green screen behind him?
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Did his character just break? What happened there?
Papaya.
What is this, man? What is this show? Because I don't understand where they're going with it. I mean, it all tied together eventually. Because I feel like if this wasn't part of the MCU, I wouldn't watch it. Because I know it ties into fucking Spider-Man 3, so I'm going to see what happens there. AKA Spider-Verse live action.
Strange sensation. It's kind of fluttering.
Speaking of Floy, she really is like the most powerful. She's created a whole like world. Got 2 cribs, right? It's going to be... Because isn't like the Wonder Twin? Isn't it Wonder Twins? Where's her accent go?
I guess there's something.
So is Vision real? Like, did she really bring him back, or is it just in her mind? Or because I don't know if this is her mind, like the house and the world. I don't know, man. I feel like if I'm gonna try to theorize what's gonna happen, I'm gonna be completely wrong. So I'm gonna shut up. Is Jason Voorhees coming? Was someone like electrocuting her?
Earrings make me look fat.
Oh, thank God.
He's figuring it out. What? it is fake. She's like, he was figuring it out, and he was like, no, too soon. Like, this is her perfect world with him.
Vince,
What?
Yes, dear?
I think my water just broke.
Oh my god. There was a Hydra advert, and then there was like a Stark Industries advert, I think. I don't think it'd be that easy. What's that? What's that? There's like a chain hanging from her. Makes it even funnier the fact that I know how they do them, because they made the actor just stand still and then put something else on them. Looks like a sword that's like a chain. That's from the painting, isn't it? How did she bring that to life? I mean, to be fair, she did that earlier with the butterflies, but... Why? How doesn't she see it? What? Oh, Jason Voorhees is back. There's two of them though, there's one more. There's one more.
Oh no, I missed it.
There's another one coming too, you'll get to see that one. Has she got one too? That's a sword badge, isn't it? Are they doing this to her?
He was killed by Ultron.
What is happening?
No, I think you should leave.
Oh, Wanda, don't be like that.
Her accent's switched.
What do you mean she has no home?
Alright, that confirms it's sword. Has she been sent in to retrieve her? Should just snap her out of existence. Oh, aspect ratio. Now she gets sent back to present, right? This is copyright. Okay, so this is government controlled. No, Wanda has to be behind it because it's like she was mad at her and then she got rid of her, right? But then okay, maybe the military are outside because they've seen what's happening with the town and they have to keep it. They have to survey it, right? And then Geraldine figured a way in. I don't know though, because that doesn't make sense with the two neighbours, because they were like, oh, we're fake. I don't know. Because our sword behind it? It doesn't make sense, because if sword were behind it, why would they point guns at her? Because she switched back to her Sokovian accent. Briefly. And there was that part where Vision, was figuring it out, and then she was like, it cut. And time reversed. Because if he figures it out, the whole world will crumble or something. I don't know. Like, her fake world will crumble. It's like it's a grieving process for her. Like, the better life. Like, what should have happened. She's created her what-if situation. Right? But by the end of the series, either they're going to bring Vision back, or she's going to come to terms with his death and just let it happen, Like, this is her grieving process. Because to be fair, she never really had a chance to grieve. Because he died and then she got snapped. Right? And then she came back and then she, fucked up Thanos. And then it was over and then there was no real grieving time for her. This show's gonna mess with my mind. So they've had twins, but have they had twins? Because is it the perfect life they want? Because realistically, how would she have had the baby? It's like she's creating new storylines in her head to keep Vision unbeknownst to what's going on. Very interesting. I feel like I'm not going to crack the code of what's happening here, but you can maybe piece some bits together, because if S.W.O.R.D are involved... Yeah, because it's like walls. She's putting up walls and then reality's kind of bleeding through, and then she's, like, putting repairs up. Like the beekeeper, last episode, I think he had a sword, thing, right? And And then she was like, no, when she reversed it. Like, reality's breaking down, like, reality's bleeding through into a dream-like world. If it's a dream world, it could legit be, well, I mean, it could be... Because in the trailer, didn't they show the Mind Stone being repaired? I mean, she technically brought Vision back to life, right? I'm very curious what they're going to do with this show. Because it's going to lead into Multiverse of Madness, and they haven't confirmed Paul Bettany for that film. So it makes me think, like, either they're keeping his, you know, return as a secret until the end of the show, or he doesn't come back and maybe he's always going to be in Wanda's head, and this is her farewell to him, like I said in the reaction. But it also ties into Spider-Man 3. And the only way it could tie into that is if the multiverse got unleashed. And technically the multiverse already has been unleashed, because Loki, which is airing later this year, is going to be a multiverse show, because it's not in the same universe or as the MCU. It's in its own, like, separate reality. And then you got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is gonna, you know, be a mini movie in a way. It's a 6-episode movie, because I think each episode will be 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And altogether it'll be about 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. But yeah, I'm very curious. I don't want to spend too long on theorising, because I know I'm going to get half the theories wrong. I feel like this is the type of show where there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs that you can dissect every episode. Because there's no rules, right? It's in her head. She can make up the rules. You can make up the rules as you go along. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with episode 4. See if they go in the 80s at the end of that episode. Because technically they did go in present day right at the end. But yeah, fun, solid episode. I mean, every episode's kind of been some like, solid and fun. But I feel like the nitty-gritty, I think it's a slow burn type of show, you know. I think when we get to the last like 3 or 4 episodes, it's going to be like, whoa, what? Because at the end of this episode, I was baffled. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the future of the MCU, because Black Widow will be coming out in May. And I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is March. There's a lot of stuff happening with the MCU on Disney Plus. So we can react to a lot of these shows, you know, like Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, I think, is coming out later this year. But the movies, obviously, I won't be able to react to anyway, because they're not coming to Disney Plus. Other than Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is technically the first film of Phase 4, but it also isn't. But it is, because it's technically... Because Kevin Feige said himself that it is a film, but it's spread across 6 episodes. I'm looking forward to the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but this one I'm the most intrigued by, because it's going to tie into Spider-Man 3, and I'm considering the rumours about that film. Well, we shall see if Toby and Andrew come back, hopefully. But, you know, could that be the saving grace of the MCU Spider-Man? Because all he's been right now is Tony Stark's protege, and he's never been an independent Spidey boy. You know what I mean? That's my one... I love Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland's nailing Spider-Man. But at the same time, he's not the Spider-Man I wanted. I want Spider-Man from, like, you know, Tobey Maguire, even the Amazing Spider-Man films. Like, that's Spider-Man. Yeah, sure, the films weren't great, but that's still Spider-Man. You know, I think Andrew nails Spidey, Tobey nails Peter, and I think Tom Holland nails, like, a bit of both, but at the same time, he's not the actual Spider-Man that you expect. Like, he's not the independent Spider-Man. You know, like the, let's say the PS4 Spider-Man game, like that's Spider-Man, right? Or PS5 Spider-Man, whatever. Hope you enjoyed the reaction, guys. Episode 1 and 2 obviously weren't recorded because it was when my PC was broken. But yeah, I will see you for episode 4 on Friday. This one might be a little bit late. We'll see. Ta-ta and farewell.